What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Heel Carmichael, and welcome to another installment of Heel Thoughts. And this episode I'm going to talk about is AEW make you forget about WWE. And this recent episode of Dynamite, we just seen Darby Allin become the new AEW World Champion in a Mankind moment. Now, anybody know what's a Mankind moment? That was the moment when he became the WWF champion. We defeat The Rock back in January. And not only that, that's during the Monday Night War. And also, that's where Tony Schiavone says, Tony Schiavone, no, it was Bischoff who said, Mick Foley won the world title, that would put busted seats. Well, that backfired. And here we are. In this situation, Darby Allin win the title, and it was on a cool down episode. It was like a night after, or should I say, a couple days after Dynasty, in which it was a great pay per view. But in this week, while I'm recording, this is the same week as the WrestleMania week, and to think about it, WrestleMania haven't been that good for us. The road to WrestleMania is haven't been that good. It it wasn't that it wasn't that great. But when I look at AEW, every time you watch AEW, you always walk away with a smile on your face. I could compare it to DDT Pro Wrestling, Dramatic Dream Team Pro Wrestling, but every time you watch it, you know you can walk with a smile or excitement or even a question. The only question you would ask is when the next show going to take place, who's going to get a title shot. The reason I say this because I would say for the past couple of months from between WWE and AEW, I'm more excited for AEW more than WWE because WWE had failed to give you what you want, to give you that 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 excitement. Like back in the day during the ruthless aggression era, the attitude era, hell, even the new generation era. But you don't get that same vibe from it. Meanwhile, you look at AEW, it give you what you want. It give you great wrestling, great story. Now last year, back in last spring, it give you great wrestling, but it give you like, okay, what's next? The biggest flaw I would give to AEW is when Moxley was the AEW World Champion and he got the title and the damn briefcase. I didn't like it, but I understand where the story is headed to. But I didn't like it because me as a belt collector, I love seeing the championship title. When you held the championship title, that means you're in control, you're the power, you're the top guy. But I don't like top being hidden. I don't mind being customized, but I don't like being hidden. That's on AEW side, but WWE side, where do I begin? It's still. I'm not saying it's a PG vibe yet, but this still has a good moments. I wouldn't say it's a PG. I feel like I feel like it's insults to our intelligence. If you remember that line from Vince McMahon during the Attitude Era. But when AEW put out a great event or great pay per view, you'll always want some more. You always want to go back and watch it again and say, "Oh man, that was a great pay per view. That was a good match." I could go back and watch Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match. I could go back and watch Kenny Omega versus Moxley in a non-sanctioned lights out match. I can go back of any AEW match, either on YouTube or HBO Max, and just look back on those years, those era, and say, "Wow, that was a good pay per view. That was a good event." You couldn't do that with WWE in this era, and some people will call it the the ruthless depression era. To me, I call it "I'm sorry" era because what this man did to us, whatever. But And WWE, the only time I look back is the classic ones, and I look back at some events. Like I look back and watch WrestleMania 40, in which that was the best WrestleMania during that era because the payoff is there. People want to see Roman Reigns lose the title. In some pay per views, I couldn't go back and watch. I couldn't go back and rewatch WrestlePalooza. I couldn't go back and watch the Royal Rumble. I couldn't go watch certain pay per views back in the day. I just couldn't do it. I could go back and watch when CM Punk was a WWE champion, but I couldn't watch uh other pay per view back in the day because it was so hard to watch during that PG era. Ruthless aggression era, I'm all in. The attitude era, I'm all in. Even the '90s in the new generation era, which I do love, I do enjoy watching that. But I felt like AEW is get the upper hand. And during that same time frame, Roman Reigns had a interview, and he was talking about if you want to if you want to be a big star or you want to get your name out there, you gotta come to the biggest stage because WWE is a tippy top of the mountain. This came from the same man who criticized WWE for not having stars after he left. That's saying something. And to be honest, I don't see WWE as a top star. I don't see WWE as a top company. They are because business wise, but when it's come down to pro wrestling, I'm talking about pro wrestling. AEW got it. Some may say um, TNA. Others might say New Japan. Some might say Noah. Those promotions are the top tier pro wrestling. Now you're talking about entertainment wise, that's between DDT and WWE. To be honest with you, just to be straight up, to be honest, like if I could go back watch who got the best entertainment value, I'm gonna give all the rewards and flowers to Dramatic Dream Team Pro Wrestling. It would make your ass laugh, straight up. Now, if you look at if you look at now you look at the road to WrestleMania, between Road to WrestleMania to Road to Revolution to Road to Dynasty, and now we're going to Road to Double or Nothing. Each road is fresh, exciting, and you can't wait to see how it's going to play out. For WWE Road to WrestleMania, it's been nothing but celebrities. It's nothing but confused. It's nothing but like dry moments. And speaking of celebrities, just earlier I just see my favorite artist, Cameron, getting a tussle with Jey Uso. Now, once this video is out, I pretty much know what's going to happen because they already took a picture. But now people complain that it's too many celebrities in pro wrestling, or should I say in WWE. Now, vice versa with AEW, yes, we do have celebs, but it wasn't that heavy. You might get one or two, at least two every year or once every month, unless it's a big event or just a special guest, but not involved with a big match like we get with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, in which we don't need with Pat McAfee. Yes, you could be there for special guest referee. That's totally different, but him being part of the story is kind of screwing it up. But when you look at AEW and WWE, the AEW get the big momentum and make you forget about WrestleMania, make you forget about WWE. Hell, even forget about Raw. Compared to AEW, and make you want more. And make you say, okay, what's next? When you after you got done watching Dynamite, when you look at Collision, I said, oh man, this is a great show. I can't wait to see next week of Dynamite. It's like a cycle. Like you're gonna get a great match. Compared to WWE, after you got done watching Raw, then you look forward to see NXT, in which NXT doing a great job. They're doing a phenomenal job, and I think Shawn Michaels hold it down. Then you look at SmackDown. Then you ask yourself, okay, what's next for SmackDown? and then SmackDown could be a good show or sometimes be a bad show. In this situation, you don't get that. You don't get that same vibe from WWE because they are focused on how can we be more entertaining than focus on wrestling. We see that in Unreal. We see that in the ring. Like this past Raw, we seen more talking than wrestling. Now AEW, we seen a little bit balance. We see that balance because it was a cool down episode. And each and every AEW pay per view, you're gonna get a cool down episode because this came off from the hot event. But in my honest opinion, between AEW and WWE, AEW got this locked. Now, however, they need to worry about TNA and New Japan because both of them, even though AEW and New Japan they're working together, but it's kind of a little bit some war between these two. And then you look at TNA, they're not backing down. They tired of being look over and being being afterthought. Even though they just announced that they're bringing back TNA Lockdown, and they're doing the Slammiversary the same month as Forbidden Door. So I feel like TNA and AEW they might heat it up. Even though TNA is a great company, don't get me wrong, I love TNA since day one. But with AEW momentum, you're gonna forget about WWE. You're gonna make you watch. You're gonna make you watch AEW even more because Darby Allin is the new AEW World Champion. Kevin Knight is a TNT champion, in which I love he brought back the Bling TNT title. I love it. Not my favorite title. That's my all-time favorite title. And we see some fresh talent, and plus we see people stepping up, wanting to get a shot for that AEW World Championship. So I'm more excited for AEW than WWE. I'm not bashing WWE. It is what it is. No pun intended. but but can WWE be better? I hope. But can AEW can be better and keep this momentum going throughout the year? I believe so. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the show. That's my topic about it. If you like it, leave a like, share, subscribe, and also support the channel. There's a link to my Cash App. If you want to buy me a coffee or drop some coins, please do so. So go make this channel improve. I'm your boy Heel Carl Michael. Until then, I see you guys next time. Bye.